Hello.
Hello. How long has it been?
Oh my gosh. Since
I know.
you and I have been on here together for a podcast,
Yes. Yes.
I don't
That
know.
wasn't pre-record. Like, I think we did a pre-recorded one. Or, I mean, they're all pre-recorded. But so Mari-Lyn and I have both been on vacation in September at different times, pretty much taking up the whole month of
Pretty
September.
pretty close. Yeah, pretty
So,
close.
yes. So we're
Yeah.
back now.
So it has
Good.
been a while. So
Yes.
everybody, welcome and welcome back.
Yes.
And
Yes.
welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. I just got back and I think I'm probably last day of jet lag today. I didn't get sick this time. I was really proud of myself.
Very
Yes.
good.
Typically when we take, long flights somewhere where there's a big time difference, I come home and, we're gone for 2 weeks and I come home and I need another week because
hmm
I'm sick. And that
hmm
didn't happen this time. I'm very happy about that.
and it's very common, to go away, come home and get sick.
Yeah.
My husband got sick after we got home.
Yes.
We get home, he goes back to work, and 3 days after going back to work,
Oh.
he comes home, uh, and
Ugh.
we're sitting there watching TV, and I said, "Are you all right?" And he's, "Yeah, just something's going on with my throat." Next morning, he wakes up, and I'm like, "Ah, crap."
Ah.
Yeah, and he is still not
Wow.
over it. Yeah,
That's been a few weeks.
it's been 2 weeks, I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
sorry about that. And yay,
Yep.
I didn't get sick this time.
And I haven't gotten it. I haven't gotten it. Uh
Nope.
I was a little suspect yesterday.
Hmm.
Um, Went to bed early, slept semi decent, I guess. Not getting it. I'm not. I'm
No, just
just.
refuse.
Mm-mm,
No. Well,
mm-mm.
I just was just downing vitamin C and other immune system things the whole time. And I think we changed the way we travel. So we went to Portugal again. And typically what we do, we're on the West Coast. We'll fly to the Midwest or the East Coast, depending, and then we fly
Mm-hmm.
from there to Portugal. And that can be rough. Talk about it. I mean, because there's always a layover and it's just miserable. So miserable. So we thought this time, and the same coming back, of course. And then we usually get back sort of late at night. And I mean, it's so miserable, so miserable. So this time we thought, let's do something different. Let's fly from here to London and then a short hop from London to Portugal. But that is a 10-hour flight.
Yeah.
From here to London and of course back. However, though painful, the last like 4 hours is like, oh my God, this is just
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah.
But it was I really think that was worth it. We had our butt pillows, which
Good.
you had bought one, and so I bought one for Mike and I, and
Mm-hmm.
it's this really cool pillow. It's obviously for sitting on, but it has a little cutout for your tailbone, so you're not
Mm-hmm.
sitting on your tailbone.
Which is why I bought it,
Yes,
because I had to go down the slide
you
at my
broke
niece's
your
house, right? And fall
yes,
off the end of the side, boom, right on the hard ground, right on my tailbone.
yes,
Oh my, I had no choice but to find a
yes.
pillow, and it's a good one.
It is such a good one.
It
It's
is a
such a
good
good
one.
one. And
Mm-hmm.
we both have it. So yes, and it was a lifesaver. I'd say
Good.
the last maybe hour and a half of the flight. I mean, you
You're just
can't help it.
done. You're just done.
Yeah, you're like tired. But I would get up and kind of walk around and stretch a few times. But I still, by the time I get home, doesn't matter how we fly, what configuration, I still have I'm ankleless. I have these big Flintstone feet and ankles when I get back. So it's always a relief the next morning. I'll wake up and fling the covers over and look like, oh, they're back. They're normal. Yes.
Yours go back to normal that fast?
Yes. Overnight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine
A year
don't.
ago?
So I've
Oh.
started, and mine happen just flying home from Arkansas. So I have to wear compression socks on an airplane now.
Oh, okay.
It takes like 3 days.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And that might be a good idea that I just do the next time, just because
Mm-hmm.
it's worse coming home. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I've been off. When I'm
Why
on,
is that?
well, I wonder because I'm on vacation. When we're in Europe, we don't worry about what we eat. We eat because their food is not toxic like it is in the United States.
Very different.
Very
Very
different.
different.
So,
Mm-hmm.
in the United States, we do as much organic as possible, grass-fed beef, that kind of stuff, all the expensive stuff. I don't know why it's more expensive to eat healthy, but it is.
It
Uh,
is.
we
Mm-hmm.
also, or I intermittent fast. I'm an intermittent faster, as you know. And we don't eat much carb at all. If once, okay, once in a while, Mari-Lyn and I go out for pancakes. Yeah. I can't help it.
But they're gluten free.
But they're gluten free, so that does help because there is carb in gluten. So it takes some of that out. But I think I just, 2 weeks of being completely off my diet and everything. And then I'm on the plane. And you don't drink a whole lot because you don't want to have to get up and pee every 10 minutes. So it's just, it's one of those. But anyway, yeah, I have big old Flintstone feet when we get back.
So traveling to Arkansas, I have no trouble with swollen ankles.
Yeah, see, my way there,
It's
well,
coming home.
yes, that is worse.
It's I don't know what it is. It's bizarre. It
And I'm
is so bizarre.
and I'm going to take that back for myself because a couple of years ago we went to Portugal and we met our son there, and I got off the plane and he met us at the airport, and I saw him and his eyes got really big, and he said in his mind, he was like, woof, mom looks terrible. How much weight did she gain?
Oh,
He didn't say it. He just hugged me and said, I love you, mom. I love you too. Then the next day I was of my regular size. And so, but then he told me.
that's
But
hilarious.
he was kind enough to leave the woof in his head, But
That's funny.
so I guess sometimes it's on the way there too. Oh,
That's funny.
my God, this biatch on the plane. Okay, so we're coming home. This is from London back home. 10-hour flight, almost 10 hours. And we didn't get our upgrade, which really pissed me off. Yes. And my husband is tall. He's over 6 feet tall. He needs the extra leg room. So really even if it's him, that's fine. I mean, I'm 5'8". That's not hugely tall, so I can fit okay. But
Yeah, it is.
We both like extra leg room, a little extra room. So anyway, they kicked us out. I don't know what happened anyway. So the seats, this particular plane, they don't all do this, as you know, because you've flown a lot. Sometimes the seat, it's just how the seats, I don't know if it's the year of the plane or whatever, but when they scoot it back, it comes really close to you. It was one of those planes, not the kind, So during the dinner service, because it's a long flight, so dinner service, I asked the lady in front of me, I couldn't get her attention or whatever. So I asked the flight attendant, could you ask her just to sit her seat up during service so I can eat, so my face isn't, in my food. So she did, and she sat up. The rest of the flight, she not only put the seat all the way back, but she would bounce it. And at one point, she sat up, put her knees on the seat and acted like she was looking out the plane, like pushing her. I almost came unglued. And Fred came right in and he put his hand on my shoulder and he just said, just let her play. Just let her, because she thinks she, you know, she wanted a big reaction from me. And so, yes, what a
This
bitch.
is a
This was a grown ass
grown
woman.
woman.
Yes. Grown ass woman. Yes.
Someone needed to be seen.
Someone needed to be seen. Yes. That, and it
Someone.
really felt that way. It felt like
Wow.
she needed, almost like she needed people around her to say something. Like I don't know if she wanted to, probably didn't matter to her if it was good or bad attention.
Probably not.
Mm-mm. And the people around her just sat there like that was part of it. It's like, okay, if there was something so important that you had to look out the window, wouldn't you be saying, oh, look at, you'd be telling the people around you, like, oh, there's a person out there, or there, you know what I mean? Look, there's something on the wing of the plane or whatever. Like, you would have said something, right? But there wasn't any of that.
Right.
She was just
Wow.
acting like there was I was so pissed. But I just sat there and just let her do her thing. And it
Well,
lasted
good
a
for
couple of
you.
minutes, and then she stopped. Oh, yeah. It was bizarro land. It was bizarre. Yes. 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 Now, on the way there were all these things. On the way there was a woman another woman, what the hell, on the plane who was like recording herself, like she was probably some sort of, what do they call them? Influence or something, or she
Okay.
wanted
Yeah.
to be, or whatever. I don't know.
Influencer, a creator, who
Yes.
knows
Or
what.
just a wannabe for like Instagram or something.
Mhm.
She was holding the camera way up and she was talking loudly, and she definitely wanted everyone to see her. There's no reason for that. If I was going to do that, I'd sit in my chair, like,
Right.
you don't need to do that.
You would make it a private conversation.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Interesting.
yes. Yeah. And you know what? I think, what is it with it's like it's a scam. Being a personal, you're scamming yourself. That personal need to be seen, either of those
Ooh.
situations, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a total scam. And oh, okay. Thanks, Fred. Thanks, ML. Um, that's why he just said, just let her just play, because that's her own shit. Like, it's
Yeah.
totally her. But see, until just now, and that was what, 4 days ago, until just this moment,
Mm-hmm.
I was still irritated as shit by her. But now I can see it differently. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, that was some wounding there.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yeah. There is a certain amount of being seen
Yeah.
in a relationship that is kind of required, right? In a
Yes.
marriage,
Yes.
there is a certain amount of being seen that you need.
That you need. Yes, it's not just a want, it's a need. I
Right.
need
It is
my
a need.
husband to acknowledge me, and that connection that comes from being seen,
Yes.
and
Yes.
vice versa.
And in order to achieve it, it takes both people. It
Yes.
takes two-way communication,
Yes. Yes.
right? So there are certain things and certain times when we need to be seen. We
Yes.
need to be heard. When we don't get that,
Mhm.
yeah, we start scamming ourselves
Yes.
into this belief that the more people that I can get to see
Oh,
me,
yes.
the more value I have,
Yes. Oh,
the more I deserve love,
yes.
the better I am.
And I think there is a temporary feeling of that. There's a temporary feeling of, oh, I'm special because they're looking at me, or
Mm-hmm.
I got that many likes, or, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm. But
Mhm.
very temporary.
Yes. And then you're off doing it again because,
So temporary that it can take just the slightest little thing to negate it all
yes.
and
Yes.
then sends you plummeting.
And even if it's not the slightest thing, just time.
Mm-hmm.
Once it's not there,
It doesn't sustain,
no,
not at all.
no, no, because there's such a lack of feeling your worth, or
Mm-hmm.
feeling whole, feeling
Mm-hmm.
that um I've always heard that you never want to meet those like celebrities that you like. You never want to meet them because they're truly weird and oftentimes asshole people. Like they just like, because they get so much from the public because they've been in movies or TV, whatever it is. Like they're this sort of, and the money comes and whatever, but they're really not secure people at all. That
What's coming is that they're good at what they do, and they're so good at what they do, they don't know how to be
yeah,
just them.
yes,
They have lost themselves
yeah.
in what they do.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And in today's world, you could be famous just on YouTube or on Instagram, or famous, whatever that means to you. I mean, you can have millions of followers and still go out and no one ever notice who you are. It's not
Right.
like movie stars, that can be a little different. Like a
Yes.
Brad Pitt, let's say. I
Right.
I doubt he could really probably go anywhere and someone not notice.
I could not know who he is.
Well, yes, there's some of us, but I mean, there's going to be somebody that,
But yes, yes.
yes, but like yeah. Anyway, that's what
I mean, I could probably walk down the street past Oprah and not realize it's Oprah that
oh,
I'm walking
yeah,
by. But that's just
yes.
me and
And
my,
but you know what? In all fairness, I've also heard they look a lot different in person too. You're constantly looking at them on the screen,
right.
and yes, and the camera puts
Mm-hmm.
weight on you, plus the way they do their makeup
And the makeup.
and
Mm-hmm.
all of that stuff that you
Mm-hmm.
probably could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
Which for them is probably in some cases a very good thing.
yes. Yes. I've heard some really big, like who was it, like that Michael Jackson or whatever, he'd put wigs on and he'd have his whole face, like all these things done so he could go out in public, because otherwise he just couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
What a horrible way to live.
Mm-hmm.
How horrible. And not to have those true connections with people. How would you ever know why you like me? Why does this person like me? Is it because of who I am? Is it the money that I make? Is it the popularity, the fame, the fortune, the what?
Right. Right.
Or because you saw me in a particular movie or something and you liked that character.
He
You hear
likes
that
the
a lot too.
character. Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
even those Instagram, whatever they're called, those people, or TikTok influencers, all that stuff. I mean, even us, I suppose. There's a certain amount. I mean, we're pretty honest about who we are on the podcast, right?
Right.
Really honest, I think. But still, I'm sure we'd still be different I mean, I don't know the difference, but I'm sure we'd still be some different. But especially those people, you only show what you want to show.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
crazy. But
Yeah. I know, just living an ordinary life as we do,
mhm,
you go a certain amount of time without connection with other people.
mhm.
It's hard.
It's very hard.
It's very hard. It can become very lonely.
Yes.
So I can't even imagine someone, say, in the entertainment industry, a
Mhm.
big star who struggles to find a connection outside of what they do,
Yes.
and to be secure in that connection is true.
Yes.
Right. And yeah, I cannot even imagine it.
I don't, it's hard enough just being, I'm going to say regular person for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm.
And
You mean like an everyday psychic?
yes.
Because that is how we came up with that name. Is
Yes.
we are just everyday ordinary people.
Yep. Yeah, who just happen to
Mm-hmm.
be psychic as well.
Mm-hmm. And so I interrupted. Sorry, you were
Oh,
saying.
it's okay. But that brought up another thing. Here's something that trips me up every single time.
Okay.
Someone will ask me what I do for a living. What do you say? Right? That's a tough thing to say. It's because even just saying I'm psychic, that doesn't say what I do for a living. That's part of who I am, but that's not what I do.
You know, I think the last time I was asked that, and I, you know, full disclosure here, I don't have a lot of outside exposure. I just don't. I
Right.
don't I don't go out. I don't meet with people. I am just pretty much a homebody.
Mhm.
I do believe though the last time that I was asked that, my answer was I'm a spiritual mentor.
Wow. Well, there's
It
an
came
answer.
out of my mouth and I went, well, I guess that is kind of what I do.
Yes.
Part
Yeah.
of what I do.
And I did they ask a follow-up question or they just left it at that? They had no
They
idea what that was, but they were like,
didn't touch it with nothing.
I'm slowly backing away. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I have said meditation guide. I think that's what I called myself a couple of times because everyone knows what meditation is and like,
Oh, but do they really? I'm sorry, but
no, that's true.
everybody
They've heard
thinks
of
they
it.
know.
Also, my kids went to a Christian high school because the education was so good. But they went, and so I mean, really hid who I was for a very
Mm.
long time. We lived in a small town when they were growing up, and then we moved when they were in high school to another small town, but to put them in this really good high school because the other high school sucked ass. Anyway, so in the small town, I hid what I did because every small towns, those of you who live in a small town, let us know in the comments. It's a whole different beast living in a small town. Everyone knows your business. No one allows for you to make mistakes or to grow or
Mm.
like we would meet at the time, like we were in our 30s and 40s when we lived there. And people would, you meet someone your own age or whatever, even older, and they'd say, oh yeah, Joe, I remember, when he was in middle school, he blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh my gosh. Like they just,
Oh,
because they stayed there their whole life and they have children there and then
sure.
and it was something. Anyway, I didn't want there was a church on every corner. You had to kind of be affiliated with a church there. We tried for a while, but it didn't work. And we got shit for that. But, I certainly wasn't going to say that I was psychic and have my because who knows what they would have done, my children. And it wasn't think what you want about me, but I don't want to blow back on my poor children. But anyway, so there was a long time, years and years and years and years that I really didn't tell anyone. And you can hide it because the people who want to do what they're hiding it too.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a total in the closet kind of thing. So you
Right.
can do that because all my clients, they were, I could go into Portland and do it.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we were talking about the need to be seen.
Uh-huh.
And now all of a sudden, we're talking about the need
To
to
not
be seen.
Yes. And it was self-preservation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Both cases.
Absolutely.
Both cases our self-preservation, and there's a certain amount of lack
Yeah,
that we
absolutely.
carry in both
Absolutely.
cases. Um,
Yeah.
just so sad, because when we want to not be seen,
Mhm.
right, that lack in confidence, we're the only ones that can fill that. And
Mhm.
one of the ways we fill that is by allowing ourselves to be seen.
Yes.
And then the other person, they're acting out and they're forcing everyone to see them
Hmm.
because of that lack of self.
Yes.
And the only way they can find that
Hmm.
is to
They
turn
think.
inward,
Right. Oh,
forget
yeah.
everybody else,
Yes.
forget inward,
Mhm.
connect to themselves and to connect with spirit.
And you know what the
Dichotomy.
it is, and what it also brings up for me is you really have no idea who someone really is. Those
No.
people had no idea. They had no idea, that I had a secret life out there.
Mm-mm,
No clue.
mm-mm.
And yeah, you really don't know. You really don't know people. Yeah. And that was hurtful, really, even though I think I did it most of it for a good reason. I didn't want that to fall on my children because people are cruel. They
Mm-hmm,
really are.
mm-hmm,
And I didn't want that. So I had to hide who I was.
mm-hmm,
And then now here I am out in the open and I don't know what to call myself.
mm-hmm.
I mean, I think of a few choice words at times. Like what I do for a living, I don't know.
But right, why?
Yeah.
It's kind of stymieing
Yeah.
that
Stunning.
that
Yeah.
it should be a difficult thing
Yeah.
to say what we do.
Yeah.
That fear of judgment, though,
Yes.
that fear of judgment is huge.
Mhm. It is.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what to say. I do so many different things. We've talked about this.
We have.
Some of our students, we've talked with them about it too. We need to come up with a word for what we do, and or words, just some sort of title or something, and it's really really difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not just, because let's see, psychic and the paranormal stuff and whatever that, well, paranormal is its own thing, being psychic gets its own thing, being spiritual is kind of like, it all kind of goes into like new agey stuff, but we're not new agey and we're
No,
not
we're not.
all
We're not.
metaphysical either.
No, we're not.
We
We're not.
really are spiritual in our own way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We sort of, I think, have our own space.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Years and years ago, I was in part of a company, network marketing, and they used to say, create your elevator speech so you can tell someone what you do in just a couple of sentences.
Yes.
Um, I was never any good at coming up with what my elevator speech was. And no, I didn't do very well, and I'm no longer part of that
Because you were meant to do
company.
it. Mhm.
Learned a lot about myself, though,
Mhm.
um, through doing it. But that elevator speech, there is something about that, of being able to just say what you do in a couple of sentences, that is so hard.
So hard. And I think it's because we just do so much. Like even you saying spiritual mentor, is that what you said?
I
Um,
think that's what came out of my mouth. Yeah.
I think that's beautiful. And I would say yes. And you do all, like there's
But it's such a small piece of what I do,
but
right?
it doesn't explain what you do.
No,
That is really no
no, it
explanation
doesn't.
at all. At
Uh-uh.
all.
Uh-uh.
Yes. And would love to hear from all of you. If there's anyone listening, yes, there's people listening. If there's anyone listening, what I meant was that has an idea of we just do this every week and no one listens. um, but let us know either if you're on YouTube in the comments or on the listen only, the apps. You can send us a text message through there.
Text, yep, text the show. Oh my
Because
God.
we are really that's something that has plagued us forever.
Yeah.
What do I do?
True.
And
Yeah.
I don't like to just say psychic. First of all, people tend to have a psychic means so many different things depending on who you're talking to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not all, I mean, that's one prong of the big picture. So it's really a tough thing. It's really a tough thing. Yeah. But anyway. Oh, another thing. Oh, sorry.
I am a spiritual conduit.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, but how much judgment will that bring down on me?
They'll just back out of the room. They'll just be like, I don't know what that means, and I'm get out of here.
Jeez.
The house that we stayed in, it was a family vacation. So my husband
It was beautiful.
Rent a big home, and then everyone has their own room and so forth, and you kind of can do what you want and etc. Anyway, we had some nasty things in there. My son and I, that first night there, we were up all night being stalked. It was nasty. I called Mari-Lyn. We did a clearing. So if you do watch our YouTube channel, TCS Everyday Psychics, it'll be on there in a few weeks. I'm not sure exactly when I'll get that will be up there, but yes, it's a good one too. And yes, the house was really beautiful.
It was gorgeous.
It was such a nice vacation.
Yeah.
So we were for those of you wondering where, because we have clients in Portugal and people we know listen. We were in the Douro Valley this time, and it was awesome. And we went to Porto and Braga and Coimbra and Vila Real, something like that. There were several different ones, but we had such a great time. I didn't realize how much I needed a vacation until I went. Yes. And then they had a storm one night, and it blew down we lost Wi-Fi at the house. So and I don't, my phone only when I'm on vacation is only Wi-Fi, when I'm out of the country. And so I just would leave my phone at home when we'd go out and we'd go places and whatever. So there were like 3 or 4 days, I think, that I just had no communication with. And at first it was hard. Like I was like twitching, like it was really difficult. And my husband had his phone. He always keeps his phone. He has service the whole time. So we always have one phone, like you have to have something. But I just, once I got over the whatever they
addiction?
The addiction, yes, I did great. It was like, oh, this is pretty nice. It was weird, but really nice. Yeah, to not have your phone to check all the time. Yeah, it was nice.
Yep. I still do my best to leave my phone in the bedroom when I get up in the morning.
Nice. That's been a few months. Yeah.
There are times where I will pick it up. I almost always regret it.
Because it's me. I'll text her early because I have some thoughts in my head and I just have to get them out. And so I'll text these big long texts for you in the morning.
Those I don't generally regret, unless it prompts me to keep looking on social media or pulling up a game. That's that pull that little device has.
Oh man.
It's awful. It's just awful. So half hour minimum. But on those mornings when I can just leave it
Yeah.
and it's an hour or more, I feel so much better.
Right.
Yeah.
I tried that for like at nighttime, put it away, put it in the other room or whatever. Yeah, no, it didn't work. It didn't hold. It didn't, but
But you were forced to go without it, and you found that
yes,
freedom. You
I did.
found that.
Yes, once I got
Ooh,
over the shakes.
yeah.
Mhm.
You found that awe
Yes.
feeling with nothing.
Yeah. Yes. And it was beautiful. There was a and if again, if you guys watch our other channel, you'll see the house because I walk through it. But there's in the morning we would get up and it wasn't for me, it wasn't warm enough to go sit out on the deck, but others would, but I sat inside. But the windows are so huge, you could just sit and just look at the beautiful view of the yard and just
Mhm.
drink coffee and just enjoy it. It was really, yeah, without the phone, without being fake. Oh my gosh. So I have all these things coming into my head now. There was apparently, my daughter-in-law was telling me that there was this show or something that was, I don't know if it was YouTube, I don't know what. These people, so like people would take their kids to the park to go play on the all the stuff, right? And they would sit there on their phones, not paying attention. These people would show how easy it was to actually kidnap a child
Mm,
when mom and dad are just sitting there on the bench on their
mm.
phone, not paying attention.
Oh my God.
That scared the jeebies out of me. And
Mhm,
so, and it's just kind of like, okay. And I always have my phone with me because we always have it with us, right?
mhm.
But now I'm like, okay, I need to. My first thought was, do I do that with it was just the one grandson? The other one's not even crawling yet. But it really makes you think. And I could
Yes.
totally see how that could happen.
Yes.
We get so engrossed in that and not just being present in our lives, in your outdoors. And you should
Yes.
be enjoying your grandkids or your children or whomever. And yeah, so that's pretty scary.
Very scary.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One when my great niece was little, um, and I was her daycare,
Mhm.
I hated it when she wanted to go down to the park. We have a park walking distance. I hated it because I knew I was going to be on over alert.
Oh,
And there, at the time, there were four different ways to access the playground.
oh. Mhm.
And how do you position yourself so you can be aware at all
Yes,
times of what is going on in this playground?
yes.
Yeah,
You can't.
you
And
can't.
we know there are unfortunately pedophiles in every neighborhood. They
Hmm.
go to places where children are, of course, because that's what they like to do.
That's what they do.
It's
Right.
very scary. It's
Yeah.
very scary. Yeah.
Mhm.
But hoof. Yeah. So if you're a parent or a grandparent and you're taking your kids to the playground or just out in public anywhere, please put your phone down. Don't hold on to your phone. Long years ago, do you remember they used to do that like with they would go into a mall, which they don't have a lot of malls anymore, but they would do like they say, "Oh my," it was the same kind of concept. They would go to a kid to show how easy it is to get a kid to go with someone by saying,
Mhm.
"Will you help me find my puppy? My puppy is lost," whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, you just have to be
Yep.
right with your kids. The world is way too scary, unfortunately.
It is a scary, scary place.
Yeah. But I don't know how we got on all that. I'm sure it was but yes. So yes. Now how was your vacation? I think I talked about my vacation. How was yours?
My vacation was busy,
Busy.
busy. And so we were gone for 7 days. We played disc golf 6 of those days, 11 different courses,
Wow.
in 3 different states.
Mhm.
And oh my gosh, it was fun.
Nice.
So much fun. The one day we didn't play was because we went up to Virginia City to the camel races.
You sent pictures. Those are the ostriches.
Ostriches, zebras, and
Yeah.
camels. And
Oh,
at the end of,
funny.
so funny, at the end of the ostrich race, the rider gets off and the ostrich just starts spinning.
Why is that?
I have no idea. I think that's something they do, but it just
How funny.
fun.
I wonder if it's some sort of letting off energy or, like a
Ooh, that could
dog,
be. Yeah,
like, or a cat, how they get the zoomies. I wonder if
right.
it's something
I don't know, but
interesting.
it was hilarious.
Yes.
Um,
I
we
was
had
cracking up just with the pictures you sent me.
a fabulous time.
Yeah. Good.
Um, yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Didn't know
And
you
then
did
we came
it.
home. We came home, and what did we do the next day?
You
Yeah,
go
we
out.
played more golf.
That's good though. Yes, to have a hobby like that.
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of hobby. I don't do.
I am absolutely amazed at
Mhm.
how much I love it.
But you've always had you like the whole weird skydiving thing. But you've liked to have some sort of physical activity thing. I'm not sure if, I guess they're called sports, but I see
Yeah,
my family's so sporty, but their sport is always with the ball and a team. And so that's what I think of
right.
sport. But that really is a sport, what you
It
do.
is a sport. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
those things.
Right. My husband and I skydived for years.
Yeah.
We skied. We don't go skiing anymore. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, time plays a big factor in being able to go skiing.
Yeah.
I don't do well in the real cold anyway. So, but it's been a number of years since we've had an activity to do. I never would have guessed that it would be disc golf and that
You enjoy it. You
I
really
really
enjoy it.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
Um, lately, when I'm home and I don't have clients and my husband's at work, I will just go down to the park and I'll just throw discs.
Yeah, because you're just a few minutes away from a
Yeah.
course. You call it a course?
There is a course there, but I don't even play the course. I just go to the park and I just throw.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Just practice.
Yeah.
Just practicing.
I don't have anything like that. I go out for walks. I love my walks. And I just hang out with spirit, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what I do, or spin out or whatever. I don't really know what I do. I always have
So
something. Hmm.
what I realized day before yesterday
Yes.
was when I go out by myself to just practice,
Hmm.
what I'm really doing is connecting with myself,
Yes.
and I am allowing myself to connect. When I allow myself, I
Yes.
really connect to spirit. Um, and the last 2 days were really, really good, deep connections with myself and with spirit. My niece says to me, "Oh my God, you're going by yourself? Is it even any fun by yourself?" I
Yes.
said, "Yeah,
Yes.
yeah."
Yeah.
I couldn't find the words to explain
Mhm.
the connection that I was finding with myself. I
Mhm.
don't even know if right now I have the words.
Yeah.
Other than it really has become a connection
Mhm.
um, to what I want and what I need in the given moment.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you know, being with, well, I mean, we're never actually alone, ever, of course, but that's a skill, being by yourself and being connected.
Yes.
Because we can be by ourselves, but we can be playing, a video game or
On
watching
our
TV and
phone.
letting yes. I mean, there are all kinds of things that you could be
Yes.
doing by yourself and just passing the time, but really using that time to connect with yourself and being in spirit is a really beautiful thing.
It is. And it's amazing how difficult it can be to get to that place.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and we all know, I know I've talked about this, you certainly know, but I wake up in the middle of a conversation with Fred or whoever every morning. And most of my morning is that way, just
Mm-hmm.
yabba dabba doing with,
Yeah.
there are some mornings though when I wake up and that's not the case. Now that we're talking about it, it's like, okay, so what happens on those days? And I think those days I'm a little lonely, I think, or I'm not sure if lonely is the right word. A little bored, a little restless. Maybe restless is the word to use to describe that. But that's one of the things.
Restless lands.
Yes,
Yeah.
but that's one of the things. I wake up and I'm yabby yabby yabby. And that's when I send Mari-Lyn. I don't want to forget, and I I send her a text. But yeah, it's also a nice thing about you and I are in a time zone that is, I don't know what to call it, below everyone else, like in TCS, our group. So
Right.
I can text someone at 6, not Mari-Lyn, but if I really have to feel like I need to connect with someone or talk at 6 a.m., there are
Mm-hmm.
plenty of people because their time zone is all ahead of us.
Mm-hmm.
And so it works.
Yeah. 6
Well, thank
a.m. texts tend to frighten me.
Oh my God. Yes, you think something's wrong. Something,
Yeah.
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 Because my family knows, um, even my family that lives in Arkansas, they know there's a time difference and they only text me when it is something important.
Yes.
Yeah, I get a 6 a.m. text and I'm like, oh shit.
Oh, it scares the hell out of you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Whew. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm. So back to that being seen piece, that just brought, because what we were just talking about now is learning how, okay, and I'm just forming my words right now. It's just
Okay.
sort of coming in at the moment. About being seen, spirit sees you. Spirit hears you. Spirit loves you. Spirit is always with you. So learning how to be seen, I sort of say that in little air quote things.
Mm-hmm.
Learn how to be seen by spirit, and it is so fulfilling. It's very fulfilling. You don't feel alone. That's why even when I said that, if I'm not waking up and I feel alone, it's like, no, that's not really, or lonely, that's not really it. It's restless.
Mm-hmm.
But still time, but when I'm in those conversations, but it's not the same way we conversate. Like you and I, obviously, two humans having conversation is different
Right.
than having a conversation with
Very different.
guides or
Very
whatever.
different. Yeah.
But we're
Yeah.
never truly alone, whatever
No.
that. And yes, they see everything, by the way. If any of you are wondering.
So for me,
Yes.
I need to add, yes, that connection to spirit. Um, that also requires me to connect with me.
Absolutely. Mhm,
And I think some people do that more naturally than others.
mhm. Like me. Yeah. Or that's what you've
Um,
always said about me anyway.
yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Because I've been doing
Um,
that since I was my entire life.
your entire life. Um, I haven't.
Right.
And when I connect with myself, it encompasses connecting with spirit.
Absolutely. Because we are spirit.
We are spirit. Now, I can connect to spirit without that deep self connection. That I can bypass myself.
Oh, yes.
And go right to spirit. But what I have learned is that when I connect through myself to spirit, oh man.
Well, okay, grounds in water. Okay, that is
Yes.
That's not connecting with yourself.
No, it's not.
That's just so
that is bypassing yourself.
Yes, there was a woman that we knew that used to occasionally come to in-person meditations, and she oof, I'm not even gonna go to the whole thing because it's Mari-Lyn and I have in our own way, sort of prayed for her because she's very not grounded at all, doesn't want to be grounded. There is almost like she's dissociated all the time. And we would do a grounding exercise before Fred's meds. And one day she said to us, I don't ground in the earth, I ground into water because I'm actually a dolphin. It's like, alrighty then. Okay. So, but she was so far out there, and we talk about this a lot. So many psychics think that that's a real connection. That's a real psychic connection, is you're not grounded at all. And you're just sort of up in the ethers. And this, you end up thinking these weird things like you're a dolphin, or that if any of you have been to a psychic, and I certainly have, who don't ground, they're just sort of way up in the thing. The information they get is bizarro land, and it doesn't land. Once in a while it does, sure. I mean,
yeah,
but it's crazy. So there is a way to connect to spirit-ish, but you're not, it's that connection with yourself that makes it
pure.
Ooh, nice word. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no grounding in water, people. And I still really don't even know what that meant exactly. But we sort of use that as a somebody out of their body. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yes, connecting.
So yeah, when we have that connection to ourselves,
away from that.
To ourselves and to spirit, that need to be seen is minimalized.
Yes. Yes. Because you feel
because we are seen.
We are seen. Absolutely. Seen, heard. Absolutely.
And I use the word minimalize. What I'm saying is to explain why you use the word minimalize, because as a human, there is still that relationship piece of being seen by your spouse, your teachers.
Yes.
There are certain situations where being seen is healthy.
As a child, your parents or your caregivers, your grandparents. Yes. I look right into the eyes of my grandchildren and tell them how much I love them. I just do. That's like, I want to make sure we're like soul to soul here, and the human part of them knows that I'm connecting. Yes.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. And they just look right into my eyes. It's so cute. Yes. It's so cute.
Soaking it all up and not even realizing it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Whew. Okay. Does that feel like a stopping place?
Yeah. I don't know what more we could say really about that connection and being seen without, like hammering it.
Right. repeating it over and over and over again. Yes, they don't need that. Neither do we. So thank you for joining the Conscious Spirit podcast, which we never said at the beginning because I just jumped right in.
We didn't, because it's been a long time, I think, since
Yeah.
actually, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably been a month since we've been face to face, I
At
think.
least.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah,
Maybe,
just
maybe more.
life and vacations and whatever.
And
Mhm.
yeah.
So
Yeah. But we do appreciate
yes.
all of you tuning in, however you listen. If you're on YouTube, please like, subscribe, share, comment. And if you are on, the other streaming platforms,
I think you
text
can
the show.
still join. I don't know what it's called. Subscribe.
Oh yeah, you can subscribe.
Yeah.
And everywhere.
Probably like somehow. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So still like, subscribe.
Yes. Yes.
Share with a friend. And text the show.
All right.
And when you text, we don't get your phone number.
No,
we don't know who you are unless you tell us.
You are. Yep. All right. See y'all later.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye.